guys, it's me, Candy, and we're here with another episode. And I want to call this one, What's Her Problem? All right, so quick question. Have you ever went grocery shopping and let's say you're pushing your basket or you're walking and you accidentally step out in front of someone? And you're like, oh, excuse me, my bad. And you're expecting the other person to say, oh, you good, whatever, you good, you need something over there, you good, I got you. But instead they give you the finger. Or let's say you're a supervisor or a team lead or something like that at work, and the same employee that comes in late every day comes in late again after y'all have had a conversation a couple times about that person being late. How would you handle that? Would you just pull them in the office and reprimand them? Let's say you're driving and someone cuts you off at the red light. No gestures, no signal light. Like, how would you handle that? Like, literally, went around you doing 90, hit their brakes in front of you. You almost hit them from the back. And if you hit them from the back, you're just in the wrong, automatically. How do you handle that? Well, this is what this episode is about all of that, different scenarios. How do we handle it? How do you handle it if you're, suffering from mental health issues, depression, anxiety, how one person sees it and how another person sees it? How do we handle that? So many, there's so many personalities, there's so many people, there's so many feelings, emotions, problems, there's different stresses, there's anger, there's crying, there's happiness, there's hot, cold, you're good one day, you feel grief the next. How do you handle it? How do you handle it, especially when you have mental health issues, mental stresses, bipolar disorder, schizophrenic? How do you handle it? And how do you handle it if you're not diagnosed with any of those issues? Most times you just brush it off. You're like, you know what? More power to them. Sometimes it doesn't go so well. Sometimes you're in the line at the grocery store and you're the third person and you're like, dang, what is taking so long? And you happen to look over in the front and you see somebody, a customer, handing the cashier their ass, literally. How do you handle it? How does that person handle it? And my goodness, the cashier must be devastated. How do we handle these stresses, especially when you have mental health issues or mental illness? How do you cope? Do you realize at the time, you know what, I'm having a panic attack, I'm having an anxiety attack, let me bring it down a notch? Do you feel it coming on? Do you say, you know what, let me breathe, let me go stand outside, let me get some air before I flip a table? Do you do that? Or do you black out? Does it just happen? Do the words just roll off the tip of your tongue and then 45 minutes later you're driving in your car, you're driving home and you're like, oh my God, what did I do? It wasn't even that bad. It wasn't even that serious. What happened? We all go through this. We all suffer through this, whether you have mental health issues or not. We all have gone through this same scenario. Now, let's replay those same scenarios, but in a different timeline. Let me give you an example. So remember when I had asked you about, have you ever went grocery shopping and, and let's go back to the red light And remember, I had told you about the person being late for work and the supervisor talking to them numerous times. So let me put them in this order. Let's say you got cut off at the red light by someone that was running late for work. That employee that's always late, they cut someone off at the red light so they can hurry up and make it to work on time, because they knew in their mind that they was going to be late, and they remembered that y'all had a conversation about them being late, and they know that you're going to be upset because they're late. Now, they come through the door, you see them, you've been waiting, they're late. Now, you're upset because, okay, we've already had this conversation, they're not taking me seriously, so I want them to know that I mean business. So you pull them in office and you reprimand them. Now, during the reprimand, at any time, did you ask why they were late, or did you just assume that they were being late because they were being selfish and they didn't care about their job? So you reprimand them, they do their work, they finish their, their shift, and they're like, you know what, I have to do a little shopping. So they're doing the shopping. Now, remember that person that you stepped out in front of and they gave you the finger? Let's say it's that young lady, the same one that cut you off at the red light because she was running late for work because she knew her boss was going to be mad, and she's doing a little shopping. Now, mind you, she got reprimanded and her job is on the line. You cut out in front of her. She's already feeling some type of way. She gives you the finger. Now, you're probably like, you know what? She's having a bad day. I'm going to let her make it. Some of us, on the other hand, might not take that so well. But let's just say you let her make it. Now, this happens to a lot of people all the time. And, with the scenarios going on, she stepped in front of you. Did you think that maybe, she gave you the finger? Ask, well, hey, how you doing? How's your day going? Oh, you good. Or that boss that pulled her into the office because she was late. Did she even ask her why? Is there anything going on? Is there anything I can help you with? Probably not. So by the end of the day, she's feeling like, wow, nobody cares. No one asks me, how am I feeling? What am I going through? No one cares. So she gets in her car and she goes home, and she feels that way for the rest of the night. If only one person would have asked, how is she feeling? Is there anything going on? Is there anything that I can do to help you? Or, how's your day? Now let's rewind to that boss that pulled her into the office and reprimanded her, because that person really had the opportunity to ask her what was going on, and that would have gave her a great opportunity to vent at that time, to say, look, I'm really having a hard time right now. So let's rewind. So she's sitting in a chair, her supervisor's reprimanding her. Now, let's just say her supervisor, so why are you late all the time? Like, do you not want this job? There's so many people out there that are looking for a job. You are replaceable. I mean, you're being selfish. You don't care about this business at all. I wonder if the conversation went like that. Or did the conversation go more like, well, what's going on? Is there something happening at home? Are you okay? This is not like you to be late like this. We just talked about this last week. Is it something I can help you with? We have to watch our approach with people. Our wording, our demeanor, our facial expressions, our body language, all of that goes into effect when we approach people and when we talk to people. Someone that's depressed or feeling down, if you're coming at them in a negative way, there's no way they're going to talk to you. Now, If you come to them in a different type of way, maybe more caring and sympathetic, and you do have empathy, like, seriously, then they will vent to you. I can't explain to you how many times I've had an associate pull me to the side or just pull me in the office, or even if I'm reprimanding them or whatever we're doing, fixing their schedule, and they'll just confide in me about so many different issues that they have going on. I remember one time I was in the office and I was, reprimanding an associate. And I asked her, I said, well, what's the deal? What's going on? This is not like you. And, finally, she told me what was going on. And I told her at that time, I said, all of this could have been avoided if you just would have came to me and told me what was going on, and I could have just changed your schedule. And you know what she told me? She said, well, I just didn't feel comfortable coming to you. I felt embarrassed. I felt you was going to go and tell other people, and I didn't want my business all out there like that. And it made me feel bad. I'm like, well, what would make you feel that I would do that? I'm here to help you. And she said, because I have done that in the past, and I've been stabbed in the back so many times by different people. So what makes me different? What makes her want to trust me? Well, I guess I have to earn her trust. And that's what I did. From that point forward, all the way through, we had a great communication relationship. Hopefully she's watching this video. But we had a great communication relationship. Now, back to that young lady that's in the office being reprimanded. So her supervisor is asking her, well, what's going on? Finally, she gets to tell her side. Someone cares. Someone is sitting there. They want to listen. She's been wanting to tell this story for weeks. No one has even bothered to ask. She felt no one even cared. Finally, she tells her boss, look, I'm having some problems at home. My mother suffers from cancer, and I'm trying to take care of her the best that I can. I'm the only one working, and I'm running late every day. I have to leave her. I really don't want to. And I was doing 80 here. I almost caused an accident. And I'm really not in a good place. Wow. That was a lot in under 5 minutes. She said a lot. Now, think about a person that's suffering from a mental health issue, that's stressed out all the time, probably cries herself to sleep every night. She's stressed out, no one to talk to. Think about how that person may feel. We don't know what people are going through. Don't judge. She walks in late, she's embarrassed. She may feel uncomfortable talking to you about it. Ask. There's nothing wrong with asking. Either people will feel comfortable enough to talk to you about their issue, or, if they don't, they don't. But let them know, hey, if you need to talk, I'm here. And what you tell me won't leave this body. I'm here to help you. And walk away. That'll leave them standing there in their mind like, well, dang, that was deep. I didn't think she really had it in her. Does she really care? I mean, you won't know until you reach out to people. So with that being said, the moral to the story is, an interaction causes a reaction. We all have to, watch how we deal with certain people, how we talk to people, how we treat people. It makes a difference at the end of the day. A lot of us, we're going through a lot. We don't have anyone to talk to. Where I worked, a lot of people, they didn't have family. They just, they were loners. And, I worked on a personal level. I worked with a lot of people. I remember I would go by the break room, and there would be people just sitting at the table. not eating, not talking on the phone, just sitting there. And I'll go in the break room and I'll be like, well, hey, sit down, what's up? What you doing? And they'll be like, oh, I'm on lunch. And I'm like, well, what you eating? Did you eat already? And they're like, no. I get it. I get it. So what I started doing was I would pack my lunch and I would bring some extra like ramen noodle packets and I would just take them in the break room and set them on the table. Periodically I would go in and check to see if they were gone, and they would be. See, you don't know what people are going through. No, that person didn't tell me, yeah, I don't have enough money to eat lunch. Maybe they were embarrassed. So I made a decision, a choice. Even if they had a pocket full of money, hey, so what? I went deep into myself to help someone out. Maybe they didn't want to talk about it. That's fine. But I found it within myself to say, you know what? Just in case somebody's here for 8-10 hours and they haven't eaten anything, I'm going to do this. And I felt pretty good doing it. I never went in to check who was eating my soups. Never mentioned it to anyone. Never told anyone I was doing it. It was just something that I wanted to do. We need to be more like that. We need to be more caring. We need to, ask people, be nosy. If you notice that the loudest person in the room is being quiet suddenly, ask a question. If someone's late all the time, moping around, acting out, ask them, what's going on with you? This is not like you. Shoot people a text. Right now, it's a critical time. It's the holidays. People are feeling lonely. They're not with their family. They've lost loved ones. They're probably broken up with a boyfriend or separated from a spouse. Their dog died. They got in a car accident. So many things are going on right now. So let's make it a point to, shoot that happy text. Good morning. How are you doing? Or, posting a picture of you and a best friend or a group lunch that a bunch of y'all had. Put a smile on someone's face. Say something encouraging to a stranger. I go in the grocery store and I tell people all the time, girl, loving that hair color, loving it. Oh, you rocking them shorts, sir. I see ya. Stuff like that. Just to bring a smile to someone's face. Just to encourage them. A lot of us, we need that right now. We're all going through a lot. And let's not forget the ones that are suffering with the mental, illness and, just struggles every day. It got to be tough, especially during the holidays. A lot of people, they always say, oh, well, the suicide rate goes up during the holidays. It does. It honestly does. So why don't we just reach out a little bit more, especially now? Everyone and anyone needs just a text. A text will go so far. There's so many days when I just wish that somebody would have sent me just a happy face text, something, because I was just having such a horrible day. So that's all I'm saying. Don't judge a book by its cover. Don't think that people are out there being hateful and just discredit them and, think the worst. It's probably not that at all. So many of us are going through so much right now, and a lot of people are suffering and they don't want you to even know about it. A lot of people have pride. And yeah, guys, sometimes we just got to let that pride down and we just have to keep it real. And just say, you know what, I'm having a hard time right now. I don't want to go off on you. I don't want you to think I'm being funny, but a sister's having a hard time. And be a friend. You say you're my friend. You say you're my ride or die. You're my partner. You're my sis. We fam. Well, ask me what's wrong so I can vent. Can I confide in you? Can I know that I can trust you and you're not going to go run and tell the rest of the city or the state my problems and I'm humiliated and then I have regret that I even came to you in the first place, and then that can lead to something far more worse. So let's go out there, guys. Let's be, productive. Let's be positive. Let's encourage one another. Let's, just be there for one another right now. And let's just take into account, the holidays are here. There's a lot going on. People are going through a lot. And, yeah, people may be acting one way, but don't take it to heart. Everyone has stuff going on. A lot of people are suffering inside, and we have to just keep that in our mind. I mean, I do. I mean, I used to fly off the handle on people a lot, but now I'm like, you know what? They may have it worse than me. I ain't even going to go there. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, and sometimes you just have to do it and keep it moving. So go out there, guys. Let's be positive. Let's uplift. Let's encourage. Share, like, subscribe to the video. What have you done today to encourage someone? What are you going to do to encourage people? Group text. Let's put something positive in the comments. Once again, I don't have a title for my page, so we're looking for anything in the comments or direct messages on my Facebook. If you have a word, a name, or anything to describe, what we're doing here, or you come up with a great idea, nothing too long or outrageous, post it in the comments, or you could DM me with your idea. I would greatly appreciate that for it to be my forever YouTube channel name. So subscribe, like, comment, be positive, encourage, uplift. Okay? Group text, check on people that you haven't heard from in a while. Do checkups. And I'll catch you on my next episode.